The middle numbers are going. And good morning, everybody. It's morning football from Paulsboro, New Jersey, as we're set to bring you Paulsboro versus the Sterling Knights. I'm Tad Kosnowski, along with Kevin Schulz, Rob Strauss, and John Hallwood here from Paulsboro, where Paulsboro comes in 6-1. They are in the top 15 in South Jersey. Sterling 5-3. Both these teams are in the playoffs. Paulsboro will have a home game, but guys, if somehow Sterling can pull up an upset, that'll increase their playoff chances.
Well, that's where you get a ton of power points. I'm looking down here. You see Paulsboro with some wins over Pennsgrove early on in the year and Salem. Some very good teams. So even though they're Group 1 teams, you're definitely going to be in a position where you can get a boatload of power points.
Last time Paulsboro lost to Sterling, you got to go back to 2012, so almost a decade ago, Kevin. And it's really been a one-sided affair here. We saw it last year, a 56-6 decision. And then in a tough year for, I think, everybody, just happy to be out there and playing sports. Just getting through the fall last year was an accomplishment in and of itself, but it's really been all Paulsboro.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And even last year, that was where we were hit heavy with the COVID thing.
Yep.
We basically had a JV team out there, and obviously that was clearly a one-sided game.
Sterling is going to kick off. They'll go from our left to our right once they get done this little interesting setup that we talked about a few weeks ago. They'll be in the away white, Paulsboro in the home red. There is a slight breeze blowing. Usually the breeze is very strong from across the field to here. It's very slight. For a Paulsboro field, you'd almost call this no wind. So Sterling into kickoff. Richardson into kickoff. Again, Sterling coming in 5-3. Paulsboro 6-1. It's a line drive kick. This is Keyshawn Sanders from his own 20. Sanders to the far side of the field. Finds a seam down the far sideline, cuts it ahead. The kicker going to throw him out of bounds. That's Jameer Richardson, and Paulsboro will take over 1st and 10. Paulsboro comes out here behind their quarterback, Tyree Thomas, 61 for 104, 833 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Their leading rusher is Amir Bateman, 700 yards, 3 touchdowns. Leading receiver, Preston Moore, 22 catches, 357 yards, and 2 touchdowns. As we zoom it in a little bit more, 1st and 10, all the way up at midfield.
Yeah, not a good start for Sterling, and ironically, that's one area where they've been solid this year is the kickoff coverage, but definitely not on that one.
Midfield, 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders.
So 1st and 10. Bateman to the left. Back to pass. Rolling to his left. And Sterling going to pick up a sack. Tino Severese, who was not available last week, blitzes in. It's a loss of 9.
Well, that's where Sterling's been very good on the outside, whether it's Severese or Richardson. Not only making a sack, but showing good containment. And I think they're really going to try to make sure the quarterback doesn't have that option to roll out and throw or run.
2nd down. We're in the first quarter. It's 2nd down. We'll call it almost 18. From the shotgun is Thomas. He'll roll right this time. Gets the pass off. It is complete. About 2 yards shy of the original line of scrimmage. Deuce effort in there on the tackle on the completion to Javon Bagby.
Yeah, nice quick semi-roll out there to Bagby, and that's one of the plays where you call because you just want your quarterback and the receivers and the whole offense for that matter to get into some type of a rhythm.
3rd down and 13 from their own 46 for Paulsboro. Tyree Thomas from the shotgun. Again, he has 9 touchdown passes, just 3 interceptions. Going to throw for the 3rd time. Has time. Goes down the middle. Has a man there. Great coverage right in front. Looks like Butler Mayhew may have intercepted this. Yes, he has. Nemo Butler Mayhew on the interception on a great defensive play.
And guys, one thing you're always seeing in a high school game, especially from defensive backs, is a lot of times they'll stay with the receiver but won't be able to pick up the ball. But what a job of Butler Mayhew, not only staying with a speedy receiver, but being able to time the jump and stay with the ball, track the ball towards the end, and come up with a big turnover there for Sterling.
Great defensive start here for Sterling. A much different start than we saw last year for sure, and this is the best start you could have asked here.
Mekhi Morgan looks like he's going to, now it actually is going to be Trey Potts with Mekhi to his left as we tilt it a little bit to the right. There's Morgan. Morgan met at the line of scrimmage in there on the tackle, Sam Powell. And Kevin, this is one thing you're going to see, a real tough running room against this Paulsboro defense.
It really is. Year in and year out, they're very tough tackle to tackle, but especially this year. But I think if you're Sterling, you still have to try to go to it. But at the same time, I think what's going to work for them is some misdirection and the ability of Trey Potts to roll out and have the option of throwing or running.
2nd and 12. Quick hitter to the right. This is Morgan. A lot of red shirts there as he gets to the 30 and then thrown out of bounds by a sea of red shirts. They may have gotten 2 or 3. It'll leave him 3rd and 9.
And you have a kid like Mekhi Morgan who has a lot of speed. Trey Potts put the ball right there. The key to that is getting the ball in the money so quickly he can get upfield, turn his shoulders upfield, get upfield in a hurry. And against a normal defense, you'd probably get about 8 yards on that play, maybe more. But Paulsboro, defensively, from the linebackers and defensive backs, do such a great job of flying at the ball. He was only able to get about 3.
3rd down and 8. Butler Mayhew to the right of Potts. This is a handoff. Pushing ahead, going to be about 4 shy of the 1st down. And we'll see if the punt team comes on. Yes, they do. So Sterling will punt as Butler Mayhew there on the carry. And now Sterling will punt. So Sterling able to get the turnover, not able to do anything with it. As Mekhi Morgan back to kick, back to receive Preston Moore. Moore stands about his own 40-yard line. Now, I was told the normal long snapper is not available today, so we have a different snapper. This might be Potts.
Paulsboro is going to be coming after it.
Snaps have not been great this year. High snap. Line drive kick. Moore, let's see if he wants it. He's going to pick it up from his own 24. And a nice defensive breakdown by Trey Potts, who tackles him at the 25. So we have 8:06 to go, first quarter, still no score.
Potts does a great job doing an open tackle. Doesn't allow the receiver to get any room and just kind of holds him there. And just like I said, it's just a nice open tackle from Trey Potts.
And a good solid job on the snap, and obviously Morgan with an outstanding punt.
So now Paulsboro in the red. They'll have the ball in this play as we pan it to the right for the shotgun for Tyree Thomas. Thomas has 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Bateman to his right. 1st and 10. Send a man in motion. Give it to Moore. Moore gets around the end. Going to get a couple more as the Knights try to wrestle him down. I know Eli Thompson there, after a gain of 7 or 8 yards. They're dangerous when they get around the edge.
Now, you're not going to see Paulsboro. You see the quick offense here, know-how to offense. They're not going to have your traditional set in the backfield, but they're going to use that man in motion to give them that pass or run option out of the shotgun.
2nd and 2, man in motion again is Moore. This time it goes up the middle to Bateman. Bateman met a little bit shy of the line of scrimmage. Is Eli Thompson in there? Also in there on the play was Jameer Richardson. They are going to give him, though, enough for the 1st down on the 2nd effort. We have 7:26 to go, first quarter, no score. Back to pass, quick one, far side, incomplete, intended for Jameel Gant. Deuce Everett in there on the coverage. Gant this year, 6 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. They threw that before he was ready for it.
Yeah, and Gant was open. Ball's just thrown behind him. He had a nice quick release, good tight spiral. Just the ball was put in the wrong spot.
Paulsboro signals in the play. We're in the first quarter, 7:13 to go. We have no score. It's a 2nd down and 10. Tyree Thomas from the shotgun. He wants to throw. Across the middle, and there is coverage all over this. Is Hardy on the reception, and he is thrown on down by Trey Potts after a gain of about 4. Also Mayo David in there. Mayo David leading the Knights in tackles this season.
And you can see, obviously, with these sets, the trips left, receiver to the right, they do a good job at hitting all areas of the field, especially here early on, using a lot of different weapons and really keeping these Sterling defensive backs on their toes.
3rd and 5. Send a man in motion. Looking near side. He's going to have to scramble. And he's going to be sacked. Brought down on the play by Tino Severese on another big play for Sterling.
And that's been the strength of Sterling when other teams throw a lot, is not only their ability to get to the quarterback, but get to him in the right way, where they go outside in, they kind of smother him and close in the pocket, and just at the same time as having a good pass rush, also have great containment and don't allow the quarterback to get to the outside.
Keyshawn Sanders to punt from his own 25. Sterling sends 2 back in Potts and Rowe. 6 minutes and counting to play first quarter, no score. It's a 4th and 9 on this punt. Tough snap here. Sanders, though, has time. It's a line drive kick. Almost kicked the Sterling player in the back of the head. Potts wants to pick it up, and he goes down at the 31-yard line, where Sterling will take over 1st and 10. Potts this season, 31 for 58 passing, 358 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
I don't know if I would agree with Potts picking that ball up. I mean, that ball was just maybe going to get, actually, you're going to get a penalty here. Had an illegal, that's the official called an illegal touching.
All right, they're going to, nonetheless, I guess from the 35, 1st and 10.
In the playoffs, starting next weekend.
1st and 10 for Sterling from the 35.
And matchups will be announced tomorrow afternoon.
Riding at quarterback, Potts going to keep it, and he's going to be taken down by Demir Avant. Maybe back a loss of a yard.
The front line of Paulsboro defense really not giving Sterling any rushing room whatsoever. Kevin, you mentioned it earlier, year in, year out, one of the toughest defenses to run against.
No doubt about it. And Tad, you talked about tackle to tackle, probably one of their toughest units on the defensive line that they've had in a long time. And this is traditionally a team that has had very good defensive lines.
2nd down and 11. Split 2 wideouts. Morgan to the left of Potts. Wants to pass. Looking, double clutches down the sideline, way overthrows Deuce Everett, the sophomore, on the play, as he was covering the play by Amir Bateman.
Well, again, I mean, this is a Paulsboro team solid up front, but you combine that with how quick their linebackers are and getting to the outside, and, of course, right there you see the great coverage. They had coverage in the shorter area of the field and obviously deep, and just a defensive unit that is really flying at a ball out there.
4:58 to go, first period, no score. It's a 3rd down and 11. Potts wants to keep it himself up the middle of the field to the 40. Going to leave him about 6 yards shy of the 1st down as he's tackled on the play by Brandon Armstrong. Sterling will bring the punt team on the field. So a defensive battle thus far as we go under 4:40 to go in the first quarter.
And you kind of knew, obviously, it was going to be tough for Sterling offensively to move the ball, but I'm encouraged with what they've been able to do on the defensive side of the ball, getting the interception and then ultimately forcing.
Potts on the snap. Morgan back. They get the snap. This is trouble. He somehow gets this off straight up. It's going to go about the 45-yard line of Paulsboro. That was a great job by Morgan just to get that off, because there were 4 Red Raiders that had a chance to block that.
And Tad, you mentioned the absence of the long snapper, and that the snaps are going back. It seems like it's taking an eternity to get to the kicker, and just to be able to get that play off was a win.
Kevin, it's a very difficult skill.
And I think what you saw with Morgan, what he did was he stepped up, got to the ball a little bit quicker. I think that was the key to him getting that punt off.
So 1st and 10 for Paulsboro, their own 38, 4:08 to go here in the first quarter with no score. Tyree Thomas from the shotgun to the right side. Paulsboro has the ball from the shotgun. They'll hand it off to Bateman. Bateman able to shoot quickly off the left side. And he's tackled on the play by Nemo Butler-Mailloux after a gain of about 4. Beautiful day for football. Barely a breeze. It's always windy down by the river here, but today rather calm. 2nd down and 6. Thomas wants to throw, gets it near side to Sanders. Sanders is going to get a 1st down. Amir Lee on the tackle, again, across midfield and a 1st down.
And you had to think at some point they would go to the short side of the field where you've got one-on-one coverage. Again, you're seeing Paulsboro. You know, we had the balls thrown downfield, but they're also going with the short, high percentage passes.
Their head coach, longtime head coach here in Glenn Howard, has won an amazing amount of division titles and championships. We honored him a little bit a few years ago when he played on the field for Paulsboro against Sterling. And didn't he play for the Philadelphia Stars, Kevin, in that?
Was a linebacker for the Philadelphia Stars, I believe, in '83 and '84.
1st and 10 in Sterling territory. Man in motion. They're going to give it to Bateman, though. Bateman gets by 1, gets a 1st down, tackled on the play by Potts and Berry after a gain of about 15.
There you saw a real good push up front on the offensive line, and a lot of those big guys that are part of that defensive unit double up as offensive linemen also.
Man in motion. Give it to the big man, Bateman. This time they crash in from the left side, and making the tackle is Nemo Butler-Mayhew. Gain of about 2, 2nd and 8.
Well, if you have a play where you're getting beat up front, the best way to counter that is on the next play. It's like they had a stunt up there to try to shoot one of the holes to gain penetration.
2nd down and 8 for Paulsboro here in the 1st quarter. No score, under 2:30 to play in this 1st quarter. Long wait here. Bateman. They meet him at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down. Right there from the line on the play was Jeremiah Davis. That was an outstanding play. They lose a yard. It's 3rd and 10.
Now, a good push on that left side of the defensive front, and not great execution in the backfield. Took about a split second too long to get upfield.
3rd and 10. Again, no score 1st quarter. Thomas wants to throw. Scrambles left, and he fumbles the ball. Sterling's going to pick it up. It's picked up by Tino Severese after some great pressure up the middle. I believe that may have been Davis.
Yeah, and what a great job by Tino Severese in this 1st quarter. 2 sacks and a fumble recovery. I don't know how much more he can do on defense other than bringing that one to the house. Great job by Tino Severese.
No question about it, guys. The key defensively to Sterling early on in this game is the pressure they're putting on Thomas. And right there coming up with a huge sack and fumble recovery.
1:39 to go 1st quarter. Sterling will take over the ball 1st and 10 from their own 47. This is a what-if, could-have-been season if they had their quarterback, Jeremiah Thompson, who is only available for a couple games this year. But you don't have him. It's next man up, and that's been Potts trying to do what he can. Butler-Mayhew to his left. Fake it. Potts back across the middle. Valeriano was thrown behind him. He tried to get a hand on it and off the hands of Keyshawn Sanders.
Yeah, that's one of those ones, obviously, with the shorter throws, the slants across the middle, you've got to get that ball there right on the numbers. You don't have much time or room to recover, and almost was intercepted.
2nd down and 10 for Sterling. 1st quarter, 1:33 remaining in this 1st quarter. 2 wideouts to the far side. Butler-Mayhew to the left of Potts. Potts wants to throw again. It's tipped, double tipped, triple tipped, and falls. Valeriano had a chance on the 2nd tip. They're fortunate that wasn't intercepted.
I think that came out a little funky out of Trey's hand. It looked like it might have slipped. That we were walking on the field pregame. The field is dry, surprisingly, with all the rain that we had over the last 12 hours. But that one just came out funny, Kevin.
Yeah, and you definitely get a lot of coverage over there with the safety swaying over there to give help to some of the one-on-one coverage that you're seeing on Valeriano and Deuce Everett.
3rd down and 10. Same formation, near side of the field. Potts looks right, still looking right. He's going to have to do some running here as there's pressure on him. He takes it around the corner, and he is going to go short of the 1st down, but stays in on the tackle, Jameel Gant. Going to leave him 4th and about 5.
Good job of Potts, sensing that
And 5.
Paulsboro, team that covers the whole field, were a little light on that left side and rolled out and was able to put them in a little better position for a punt. But I think they're going to go for it here.
So Sterling will go. We're under a minute to go in the first quarter. This is 4th and just inside 5. Potts. And before the snap, we get a flag, and Sterling will call timeout. So we have a timeout with 47 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Sterling looking to see if they will go for 4th down in a minute.
Again, you mentioned Trey Potts stepping up from Jeremiah Thompson. Trey Potts has been doing a great job. Just the losses that Sterling has had has been really close losses. Of course, the only non-close loss was against Del Rand, where we had to play with a freshman quarterback of, I believe it was.
Yeah, our freshman quarterback was that Thompson?
Rowe.
Okay.
And then Potts just we lost to Haddonfield only by a touchdown. And then you go back to Willingsboro, where we lost in overtime. So Potts is doing a good job at quarterback, and the defense has really helped. Special teams has helped. So this Sterling team has potential, and it's just been a great season to watch for Sterling.
4th and 5 after Sterling gets the play that they want. They're on the far hash mark. Near side comes Valeriano and Everett. So this is a 4th and 5. Morgan to the right of Potts.
Also a reminder, fall sports are wrapping up.
So 4th and 5. Potts looking across the middle. Valeriano on a catch and a first down. Valeriano pushing ahead, holding the ball as he's out to the 30. A host of Red Raiders on the tackles. Sanders in there. And a host of red shirts. Big play right there. Is Hinkle also in there?
No difference in coverage, but that one was put right on the money, giving Valeriano the chance to get the ball and turn those shoulders upfield.
28 seconds to go, first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Could be an option. Potts thinking. Now he takes it himself. It's almost a shame that Butler Mayu didn't follow him out there on the right side, Kevin. He just kind of gave up, didn't give Potts literally any option.
And you talk about a play being set up really well. You saw the defensive backer, the linebacker was outside on Valeriano and was shaded towards the middle.
And that is going to do it for action here in the first quarter. So no score here from Paulsboro. Sterling will pick it up in the second quarter with a 2nd and 10.
You take a look at these. This is the time of the year where you start looking at the playoffs and the shift that the state wants to move to a state playoff system. Right now, Sterling's sitting in the 12 spot right now, and if they were to start the playoffs today, they would travel to Delaware Valley High, which is in Frenchtown, New Jersey, about 72 miles away. Depending on how this game goes, they could also face Bernards, which is 88 miles away, or Hillside, which is 82 miles away. Either way, Sterling's getting on a bus for about 2 hours each way. And that's the direction that the state has been rumored to going in, and this is the direction that they want. They want a true state champion where the North is going to play the South and kind of mix everybody in. And you're going to see some very uncommon opponents here once the regular season ends.
This is where I'll disagree with you, because these teams that you mentioned are North Jersey teams that are now into the South, and that's just something personally I disagree with. There's not necessarily going to – you could have a South Jersey champion of Bernards, Delaware Valley, Nottingham, or Hillside, and I'd be hard-pressed. I had reporters who didn't know where they were, let alone myself.
And I think I've been told by a couple people on different occasions that they think next year you could have teams even further north that are going to come down.
That's a shame, because there's no interest in that at all from a fan standpoint.
And that's, again, from a fan standpoint, I think the one thing that is missing out in this whole equation is the absence of a Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, they lost that too. So we lost all the games that I think fans look forward to. 2nd down and 10 as we start the second half.
Trey Potts keeps it himself on 2nd down. He'll lose a couple yards. It'll be 3rd down and 12 on the gutsy 4th play call by Coach Harris. It'll be 3rd down and 12 from the 35.
Yeah, it looked like Paulsboro might have shot the gap right there in an effort to get real good penetration in the backfield, whether it was a pass or run, and they were right in Mayhew's face once he got the ball.
Potts going to send 2 receivers to the near side on 3rd down and 12. He has Butler Mayhew to his left. Takes the ball from the 40-yard line, looking left, being scrambling, and he's going to go down in the backfield. Amani Seeger, the junior, takes him down for a 5-yard loss. It's going to be 4th down and long. Looking at about 4th and 18, Kevin.
Yeah, you're seeing that Paulsboro, the pass rush, is trying to do the same thing Sterling's doing with providing not only a good push up the middle, but also good containment. And Potts is not able to get to the outside. Great job up front defensively by that Paulsboro defensive line.
Can't go for it here on 4th and long. So the punt team is going to come out, and this is always going to be an adventure when you have a new long snapper.
And it's Potts doing what he can.
Potts doing it all. Good snap this time. Punted away by Morgan. Morgan gets a real good punt off, and it's fair caught by Preston Moore at about the 12-yard line, Ted.
All right, our upcoming scheduled games here on Sterling High School Channel 19. On Monday, there are 2 games you can watch. At 2 o'clock, the boys soccer team is going to host Pleasantville. That game will be live on YouTube. At 3:45, we're also going to be doing a girls volleyball playoff, 3:45 against Pleasantville. So 2 Pleasantville teams coming down. That'll be on Monday. We'll get to the rest of the schedule in a little bit.
Wonder if they're going to take the same bus.
They could.
It's a possibility.
It'd be very interesting if they did.
From the shotgun on 1st down, out into the flat to Keyshawn Sanders. Sanders up the near sideline, pushed out of bounds by Deuce Everett for a gain. We'll call it about, looks like he got 12 on that. That's a good play.
Real good play call because you know that Potts is going to be shade more to the wide side, and they had Breon Hardy going a go route, and it kind of cleared the area out to get the ball to Sanders and get him upfield.
Thomas from the shotgun going to put trips to the far side. The ball set up on the near side hash. Thomas hands it off to Bateman. Bateman with some room near a 1st down, and it looks like he picked up 11 there and another Paulsboro 1st down.
Deuce Everett there. It was him or a touchdown, and Everett made a real nice tackle there.
Yeah, great open field tackle by Everett, but it looked like they double-teamed at that point of attack right there. And you're seeing Paulsboro backs that can really accelerate upfield in a hurry.
Thomas again from the shotgun. Bateman carries again up the middle, and he's out to close to the 45-yard line as Eli Thompson in there on the tackle.
This really challenges your linebackers, Kevin, the way they spread the field. The linebackers have to make a decision very quickly.
Yeah, when they double team at the point of attack, you're driving some linemen back, and again, that clogs up that area where they move left and right, and it kind of keeps the linebackers back on their heels.
Bateman lines up to Thomas's left here on 2nd down and 3, just about 9:30 remaining. Thomas back to pass, looking long, and it's going to be overthrown. He was looking for Keyshawn Sanders, covered by Deuce Everett on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, it looked like a little miscommunication. I know Sanders stopped, but at the same time, Deuce Everett, who's really been doing a great job defensively in this series of downs, had him covered the whole way.
Yeah, the sophomore's done a real nice job of keeping the action in front of him. He's not buying the fakes either. Well done.
3rd down and a long 2. Split backs in the backfield, almost like in an I formation. Option play, dropped on the ground, and Paulsboro recovers it. They're going to lose yardage on the play back inside the 40 rather, and a loss on the play will be 4th, and we're going to call it 9.
Tino Severese, Kevin, in the backfield again, caused them to pitch it before he wanted.
Yeah, it's Santino Severese and a host of defenders. I think that's what caused the fumble. You saw him just look upfield at all the defenders in his face. Again, another great job up front by Sterling, really with good upfield pressure containing the outside.
Last time Sterling met, this time last year, 56-6. We are still scoreless, under 9 minutes remaining here in this 2nd quarter.
Just please don't jinx it.
Punt is away. High end over end kick. Fair caught and then dropped and fortunately fallen on. I believe Trey Potts fell on it as Jameer Rowe called for the fair catch, went off of his chest and good presence of mind by Trey Potts. Right place, right time.
And Everett also out there did a good job of just almost just being Johnny on the spot, ready in case something silly happens. So they catch a break. But again, I'm impressed with this Sterling defense thus far.
That's the difference in the game, no question about it, because you knew offensively with that defensive line, yards were going to be tough to come by, but defensively you're seeing a great job, especially by the defensive backs.
So 1st and 10 for Sterling, just inside their own 30-yard line. Trey Potts from the shotgun. Low snap goes between the wickets, and Trey Potts picks it up, and he has no time. He's sacked in the backfield by Preston Moore, but good job by Trey Potts to at least corral it and keep possession.
Yeah, had some times. Anytime Trey Potts has the opportunity to try to make a play out of a busted play, he's going to try to do it. But with the pressure and the athletes you have on the outside and from the linebacker position of Paulsboro, you're not going to get around them.
And these are the little things you can't do if you want to try and beat a good team like Paulsboro.
Loss of 11 on the play as we are under 8 minutes remaining in a scoreless first half. Potts from the shotgun, 2nd down and long, gives it to Morgan. Morgan trying to dance around and escape some would-be tacklers, and they got him. And that is Demir Avant on the tackle, and a loss on the play, bring up 3rd and long.
And this is, Kevin, this turned out to be a field position game, and we're backing up pretty far right now.
Yeah, we really had the advantage there for a little bit, but, with the muffed snap and nice punt by Paulsboro, Sterling really offensively has their backs against the wall.
If Sterling can't convert on 1st down here, they're going to be punting into the wind on 3rd down and long. Potts looking to run, maybe looking to pass. No, he's looking for something. He finally throws it up in the air into double coverage, and it's incomplete. And two receivers in the area, and it was looking for Valeriano, and they're going to stop the clock. Penalty marker, an ineligible player downfield against Sterling.
I'll tell you what, I like that play call. Valeriano is very tall, and why not? Give him a jump ball situation, give it a shot.
I was going to say the same thing, Tad. You have Larry down there. Even in a crowd with defensive backs all over him, he can get up and get after it. And you're going to see them definitely, if that situation pops up again, try it again.
4th and long. 7:04 remaining here in the second quarter rather. Still no score. Punt is away. Takes a bounce at about the 40, and a Sterling roll to midfield into Red Raider territory, and will be down at about the 45. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders coming up.
And we'll go through the rest of our TV schedule. It is playoff week coming up. So with the boys playing their opening round game Monday, the girls will open Tuesday at 2 o'clock. We'll have that for you. Wednesday is actually pep rally game day. There is no games that day. And if the girls and boys both win earlier in the week, we will have Thursday and Friday 2 o'clock games live with the boys on Thursday and the girls on Friday.
Very busy broadcast schedule.
Playoff time is a crazy time of the year.
And then we'll get about a 2-week break, and then it'll be basketball season.
with some good basketball and wrestling coming up this year.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 for Paulsboro from their own 45. Bateman, plenty of room up the middle. He's tackled by Deuce Everett, and not before he gains 13.
That's got to be a fun job for the sophomore Everett, having the 200-pound roughly running back coming right at you, knowing you got to save the game.
Yeah. Paulsboro quick to the line here, 1st and 10 inside Sterling territory at the 42. Bateman gets the call again up the middle, and he's tackled again in there on the tackle, but for Deuce Everett.
And they're going to continue with this, with the no-huddle offense, with Bateman up the middle, because haven't had too much success in the passing game or getting around the outside. So just attack Sterling right up the gut.
Yeah, keep running it down their throat till you can stop them.
Bateman gets enough for the 1st down, so another pickup of double-digit yardage for Bateman, who lines up to Thomas's left on 1st and 10 from about the 32. 3 wide receivers to the far side. 6:20 remaining in a scoreless first half. Thomas back to pass. looking across the middle. He's got a man. Does he see it? Had him turned around the wrong way. Keyshawn Sanders was there, and he looked left when he should have gone right, and it's incomplete.
Well, definitely a blown coverage. A little bit of miscommunication right there with the 3 wide receiver set. And Sterling's really got to correct that and figure out what went wrong right there, because there's no doubt about it, they caught a break.
Yeah, that would have been a touchdown if the quarterback threw it where it needed to be. As you mentioned, very, very lucky.
And you see Mayhew and Trey Potts are discussing things out there.
Go 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left, 1 here to the near side, being pressured. They set up the screen to Bateman. Bateman with some room on the near sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the red zone at about the 19.
It's a great play call in that you send the people, everyone wide on the far side deep, let the rush come in. There weren't many white shirts there.
And not only that, the receiver found his way to that open spot in the field right at the hash mark. Didn't go out wide like you normally would on a screen.
6 minutes remaining here in the half. Hand it this time to Avant, and Avant is spun down in the backfield. First one there, Nemo Butler Mayhew, and that's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
Well, real good penetration. Not sure if they went with some type of a stunt up there on the defensive line.
Avant remains in the backfield to Thomas's right. Thomas being pressured, and he's going to go down. He might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, so a gain of 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Kevin, I'm going to go back to what you said. I'd be running it right between the tackles, and they're going away from that, and I think it's helping Sterling out.
I agree.
Bateman remains on the sideline. They're keeping Avant in the game. This might be giving Bateman a little bit of a breather here on 3rd down and 10. Ball at the 20. 5:10 and counting remaining here in the second quarter. Still no score. Thomas from the shotgun, going to roll to his left. Now come back right. Thomas trips, loses the ball, and Sterling recovers it. Falling on the play is Eli Thompson, and Sterling capitalizes on yet another Paulsboro fumble.
And you're really playing into Sterling's strength right there with the rollout. Sterling's had great containment on the outside. And like I said, Tad, Sterling's still in that base D with 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, the defensive setup that Paulsboro's been ramming the ball up the middle on the run, but have decided to go with the pass.
It looked like Thompson's responsibility may have been a running back who was tied up, so he blitzed in delay, and he came right in where the quarterback was, and they pick up another turnover.
Yeah, getting a lot of bodies out there, too.
Player of the game right now easily is the Sterling defense. They've played incredible here in this first half. 4:58 remaining in this first half. Potts hands it off to Morgan. Morgan trying to go off that left side, able to gain a couple out to about the 32. He's tackled on the play by Demir Avant.
So, Kevin, you basically have a half of this game to figure out what can you do to score. That's been the problem since they lost Thompson at quarterback. They just can't get it in the end zone.
Yeah, and the key is a pass rush with containment, not allowing Trey Potts to get around to the outside if he decides to tuck it in and run.
Valeriano lines up on the near side. They don't look his way. They hand it off, and a gain of really nothing there for Mekhi Morgan.
Well, once you get in a position where you're dancing and stutter stepping and not really getting upfield, this Paulsboro defense, especially the linebackers, do such a great job in recovery and get to that play before they're able to get really anything.
Still no score here. Under 4 to play in the first half. Sterling and Paulsboro. 3rd down, and we're going to call it 6. Potts looking to pass, looking for Valeriano. He's got him across the 45 down to the 47. Tackled by Keyshawn Sanders. They'll move the sticks. 1st down, Sterling.
Well, it looked like Valeriano went to the middle of the field, had a nice cut to the outside, gained separation. Potts picked it up and threw a dart right to him.
Way to keep the drive alive in the waning moments. Under 4 to play here in this first half. Still no score. Potts from the shotgun. Valeriano lined up near side. They hand it off to Nemo Butler Mayhew, trying to gain some yardage off that right side. Found some daylight there, and for about 7.
I think even if they don't score, they've changed the field position and they're getting a little shot in the arm on the offense.
Absolutely. You're starting to see them getting into a little bit of an offensive rhythm.
And it comes down to Potts needs to make some throws, and he made a beautiful one 2 plays ago.
Second down and a long 3. Low snap. Potts has it off of his hand. Oh, and just off the hands of Deuce Everett. Good job by Potts to take the low snap, but a real quick throw by Trey Potts, and that's one that Deuce Everett probably should have had.
And I like that play call, exposing the middle area of the field, because you've got Valeriano on this wide side. You've got the cornerback one-on-one of Valeriano, but you also have the safety shaded over for help, so that middle area of the field is definitely open for that type of play.
2:57 remaining. Third and 3. 3 wide receivers. They hand off to Nemo Butler. Mayhew trying to get to that first down marker. He had to get inside the 45, and that's about where he ends up. It's going to be 4th and short.
I say go for it. It's not a bad play. You're close to getting a first down, and I don't know, maybe give it to maybe do a pass play, maybe down in the middle.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. I think right now you have to. It is a field position game, but you've got to capitalize on the offensive rhythm and momentum you've kind of developed within this drive.
Sterling going to go for it. 4th and 1. Ball at the 45. Potts in the shotgun. Low snap again. Mekhi Morgan's going to get the carry and the first down. Dives across the 44 down to the 43, and they'll move the chains again. So another gutsy call by Coach Harris on 4th down pays off.
Yeah, and that's all about Mekhi Morgan, taking on that initial hit, then taking the defender a couple yards with him to get the big first down. Really physical run by Mekhi Morgan.
2 minutes remaining in this scoreless second quarter. Potts being pressured, rolling out to his left, throwing left, throws it. He's got a man complete. Into the end zone, touchdown! Jameer Rowe from 43 yards out. Sterling strikes first, 6-0.
And
You talk about Trey Potts developing as a quarterback. Initially went back, had a man in his face, readjusted, went to the left side the whole time, waiting for the play to develop and the receiver to get open and put the ball on the money. Great play there by Trey Potts.
a great throw, but Jameer wide open, blown coverage by Paulsboro right for the Paulsboro defense.
Sterling going to go for the 2-point conversion. Potts going to roll out to his right. He's in some trouble, throws it incomplete, looking for Deuce Everett, threw it way over his head. So Sterling strikes first, 1:49 remaining. It's 6-0 Sterling.
And again, it comes down to, we just said before that Rowe's going to have to make some pass plays. And he saw it, he picked it up, and he got the ball out there. And again, as Rob indicated, there's a bit of a breeze blowing in his face, so he had to put a lot on that, and he got it there. That was impressive.
And to me, if you're somebody who's not accustomed to being at the quarterback position, as soon as I see somebody coming at my face, and I know the pass is designed to go downfield, I'm just going to unload it. But just to have the presence of mind to wait for the play to develop with somebody right in your face, readjust, extend the play just a little bit more, I think put him in position to ultimately make that play and come up with a huge play here early on in this game.
Yeah, Potts was the one that I meant needs to make these plays, and that's what Sterling's going to have to do. If they want to be successful the rest of the way, they're able to run the ball, decent amount when they want, but they need some big plays out of that quarterback position, and they got it there. And now it's up to see if the defense, with 1:49 remaining in the first half, can hold this 6-0 lead.
And to me also, you have success with those longer plays. We always say that's going to loosen up the defense a little bit more and put you in position where you can kind of work the running game in conjunction with the passing game. Things are looking really good here for Sterling as we get through this first half, later on in the first half.
Rowe, the freshman, that's his third touchdown catch of the season as well. I think if you're Sterling here, you don't want to allow any kind of big play off this kickoff. You want to try your best to go into half with this 6-0 lead.
1:49 remaining. Paulsboro, all 3 timeouts remaining. Sterling has 2 timeouts remaining. But very unorthodox Paulsboro team here offensively in this first half, really putting the ball on the ground. And Sterling defense taking advantage, and they finally turned defense into offense and got some points on the board, which we said was kind of a sticking point for Sterling. How do you get into the end zone? Well, they just did from 43 yards out. End over end kick taken on the fly by Keyshawn Sanders. He's going to get out to about the 40 and out to the 43. Penalty marker comes in late. We'll take a look at that.
Return.
Now, late's either a block, legal block, or a hold.
Face mask, perhaps?
That's the one bad thing if you're Sterling.
Flag on the play.
Came in from behind.
Pushing
Be
the
illegal block in the back, so that's good news for Sterling. 1:41 remaining in this second quarter. 6-0 Sterling on the 43-yard touchdown pass from Trey Potts to Jameer Rowe.
Well, we talked about how kickoff coverage, Sterling got a little bit of a break right there. Coverage on the kickoff has really been a strength for Sterling this year, but not on a couple of the kickoffs right there. Obviously getting a break with that penalty.
Pressure's on the defensive backs here. You know Paulsboro's going to look to move the ball down the field.
Bateman back into the game for Paulsboro. Standing to Tyree Thomas's right. They go to Bateman up the middle. Bateman spin move across the 35, bulldozing his way across the 40 down to the 41, gain of 11.
And the thing about that play, when you're base defense, you've got the 4 defensive linemen, you've got the linebackers. With the trips formation, Trey Potts is on the outside, not being able to come up as a potential run stopper.
Trips to the near side. Thomas looking that way, now looking across the middle. He's going to float it up, and he's got his man. He's got Preston Moore, and Preston Moore is going to walk into the end zone untouched for the Paulsboro touchdown.
Well, we said if there's one thing you didn't want to get beaten deep. And unfortunately there on that play, Agbesi was about a step behind, and it cost him.
And the key was the pump fake to the outside. I think that froze Agbesi just for that split second, and Thomas took advantage of it through a strike right to the wide receiver in stride. A big way of responding here by Paulsboro after the Sterling touchdown.
59 yards on the touchdown, and that did not take long. After roughly 20-plus minutes of chess match, we've now got some offense. They're on to attempt the extra point. Looks like Thomas is going to hold. And Amani Seeger is going to attempt the extra point. The snap, but whistle before. Kick was good. Low line drive, but
Sterling's was off, Rob. The right end came in too soon.
Offsides, so they'll cut the distance for the field, the extra point rather, in half. And do they go for 2 here?
Offsides, decline it. Now, they must have missed the kick then. I couldn't see that part of it.
All right, so they'll try this again. Again, Thomas to hold. Seeger on the extra point.
We'll widen out and show you the goalpost here.
The snap, the hold, the kick is up. And the kick is good. So Paulsboro takes the lead with 1:17 remaining. It's 7-6 Paulsboro.
Well, we talked about their big play potential, and you saw it on that last set. And unfortunately, just a defensive breakdown. It makes this halftime a whole different halftime now.
And give credit to them. And we talked about their success in the running game, coming up with 8-10 yards a pop, but they're committed to try and going for the big play. And I think the difference in that play, and we said it a few minutes ago, was that pump fake, getting the one-on-one coverage, allowing your receiver to get those couple extra steps on the defender. And again, a perfect pass by Thomas.
Thomas now with 10 touchdowns on the year. He's now thrown for over 900 yards. Pretty impressive. If there was ever a chance that Paulsboro needed a play, they got it there. And like I said, makes this going into halftime a whole different ordeal for Sterling.
And we've seen them hit or attempt to hit all different areas of the field there. They just really expose the middle. Having that outside with the trips formation take up a lot of bodies defensively for Sterling.
Paulsboro on to kickoff, leading this one 7-6. Low scoring affair. We're not used to that here against these two teams. Again, you have to go back to 2012, the last time Sterling defeated Paulsboro. It was a 13-10 decision. High end-over-end kick taken by Trey Potts inside his own 20. Potts looking up the middle, now going to cut to the near side. He's got a little bit of room before he's spun down by the jersey by Jameel Gant. Junior takes him down at about the 35.
Well, you have 1:09 to go here in the first half. I think Sterling has 2 timeouts remaining, so you just got to be careful. You don't want to take a chance and possibly really shift the momentum.
Yeah, and I think, we've seen them try to take chances in this situation, especially when you have a kid like Trey Potts at the quarterback position. Not his normal position, but he's a kid who you have confidence in when he has the ball to do the right thing and in his decision making and just knowing the situation that you're in.
1st and 10 for Sterling, just outside their own 35-yard line. Valeriano line up in the slot on the far side. Trey Potts from the shotgun. Low snap. Again, Potts going to look Valeriano's way, and it's picked off. Right in the hands of Keyshawn Sanders. And he's going to come down, rumble down the near sideline, getting a block, still in bounds. And he's pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So on the first play, Sterling turns it right back over to the Red Raiders. An excellent field position and 55 seconds to work with and a full supplement of timeouts.
Yeah, and the play was there. Valeriano was open, ball sailed a little bit high, or Valeriano would have had a completion over midfield. You saw the defender basically playing center field, kind of in a prevent situation, keeping everybody in front of him. But
That's the chance you take.
Yep.
And hopefully it doesn't come back to bite the Silver Knights.
Sterling defense has come up big in this first half. They need to come up huge here to keep this a 1-point game. Thomas hands it off. Bateman across the 30 down as he approaches the 25-yard line. Gain of about, call it 5.
5, 2nd and 5.
Clock continues to run. We approach 30 seconds, 7-6 Paulsboro. Thomas looking to pass. Plenty of time, puts it across the middle. It's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Keyshawn Sanders.
Flag's down.
He was looking
Late
for
flag.
a flag.
And he got it. Yeah, there was our defender, it might have been Potts, grabbed the jersey as where he thought the play was going. So this is going against Sterling. And Kevin, if the receiver ran where the quarterback threw it, that was going to be a touchdown.
yeah, they looked like they had 2 receivers going on a double slant with the outside guy going to the corner. And obviously, Potts is getting called for the interference here.
He grabbed the jersey. That's why you're getting the holding.
Well, that's a good penalty to take, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
25 seconds remaining, and on a kind of a play that you, for all intent and purposes, Paulsboro was going to score on.
Yep. If the pass was where the receiver was. They weren't on the same page, but Paulsboro on the doorstep.
Inside the red zone. 1st and 10 from about the 17. Thomas. And whistles all over the place. False start. That'll back up the Red Raiders 5 out of the red zone. This will be 1st and 15 from about the 22.
And in high school ball, 5 yards means a lot because if you try a field goal, you got to be reasonably close. It's less of an issue in college and pro ball.
Santino Savarese on that play obviously was blown dead, but had a real good push around the outside. He was going to put some good pressure on Thomas.
1st and 15 from the 22. 4 wide receivers split to either side as Thomas gets the snap. Pressure coming from Savarese. Thomas being flushed out, and he's just going to look in the end zone. For the touchdown is Preston Moore from 22 yards out. Tyree Thomas made that happen. Moore comes down with it, and Paulsboro increases the lead. It's 13-6.
No question about it. Up front, if you're Sterling, you got everything you needed to get. You forced Thomas to roll to that left side. Had a lot of bodies coming after him, having to readjust and make the throw, but Moore was able to get open the end zone. And, boy, that's a big one for Paulsboro right at the end of this half.
The linebackers were put out an island. Do we go get the quarterback or do we wait? They initially waited, then they chose to go with the quarterback, and he read it perfect. As soon as they came in, he lofted it over their heads.
Extra point. Again, is going to be taken by Amani Seeger with the hold from Tyree Thomas. And penalties all over the place. Again, it looks like coming in off that line was Oz Lee. And it was. He got a little too anxious.
Talk about trouble at halftime now. This game has turned in the last 2 minutes of game time.
It has, and I think, when a situation like this comes up, this is where your not only coaches, but the senior leaders have to get in everybody's face and say, hey, we got to put it behind us.
And on that penalty, Rob, Paulsboro says, thank you, we will go for 2.
And why not? 13-6 Paulsboro, 14 seconds remaining. Paulsboro hasn't had to use a timeout at all either.
Nope.
They went right down the field. Under center now is Tyree Thomas. 3 backs in the backfield. They're going to give it to Bateman, who gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So that makes it a 15-6 game with 14 seconds remaining in the half.
No shocker there that they went to Bateman, because anytime they've needed a couple yards, he's gotten that and then some.
So unfortunately, if you're Sterling, you're looking at mistake after mistake after mistake, compounded by a mistake that leads to 2 points, and you got some serious regrouping to do at halftime.
No question about it, and it's about mistakes and execution. But at the same time, I think you got to circle the wagons and look at what you've done for the most part defensively. Keep that up, and they've really in this second quarter started to get in an offensive rhythm where they were able to move the ball downfield, get some first downs, and you want to continue that in the second half by utilizing different weapons and hitting different areas of the field.
Hey, guys, just to keep this in perspective, this was a nothing game, scoreless game with 1:49 left in the half, and all of a sudden it's 15-6.
That's what it was great what defense was doing for Sterling. You credit this Paulsboro offense. I mean, they are taking advantage of mistakes, and they're reading either a blown coverage or they're taking what you give them, and they're a tough team.
14 seconds remaining. High end-over-end kick taken by Potts at his own 5. He's going to run this one out right up the middle, coming to the near side. Gets around 1, has some room, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 33. And I would imagine Sterling just going to take a knee here with 5.5 seconds and just go into halftime down 9.
And what we'll do at halftime for people watching at home, we'll give you what's going on the scoreboard, and you'll be able to follow along as to when we'll be back with the second half. I think I'm hitting the barbecue down there, guys.
I agree with you 100%. I've been smelling it since I got here, and I'm going to put a hurting on that barbecue over there.
I'm the one that's outside that's been smelling it the most.
It's good. We like it. We're all going.
Hand this one to Mekhi Morgan up the middle. Mekhi Morgan tripped up, gain a 9 on the play, tackled by Hardy, and that has how the half will end. It was relatively scoreless for about, we'll call it 20 minutes of the first half. Sterling strikes first, goes up 6-0, and then Paulsboro fires back quickly with 15 straight points, and it's 15-6 at the half.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll zoom in on the scoreboard here, and we'll let people at home know we're going to take a break at the half. We will stay live, and that'll give you an idea of what we have. So Paulsboro leads at the half. We'll be back with second half action in a little bit. Hey, we welcome everybody back here as both teams are now back on the field as we're getting set for second half action, whereas Rob indicated with about 2 minutes to go in the game, there was no score in the first half. And we're sitting here 15-6. Paulsboro shot out of a cannon, got a help from an interception. They have the lead, and Paulsboro is just tough in general with the lead. You just got to be careful.
Yeah, and I think the defense for Sterling played exceptional in that first half, and they kept Sterling in it for 20 minutes. And just some mistakes. I mean, the coach, and this is something that drives coaches insane, are the turnovers. And when your defense is playing well and you're finally get on the board momentum, and then before you know it, 15 points, you're down 9 points here, Ted.
John, what's your thoughts as we look back at the first half?
It's been a very defensive game from both teams, and Sterling's had some great luck from Paulsboro's mistakes on offense, and with two fumbles, and then actually no, I think there was another fumble that Sterling did not recover, so I think there was 3 fumbles in total. And then there was that early interception early in that first quarter. So Sterling's defense has really shown what they can do against this Paulsboro offense. And Sterling, you saw later on in that second quarter, started clicking a little bit, but they just kind of lost a little bit of rhythm. And hopefully during that halftime, Coach Harris was able to give that help that offense a little bit and maybe spring some life back into Sterling.
So we're just about set here for second half action. Sterling trailing this one as they try and get things going. They got the scoring first together with the 43-yard pass to Rowe, and then 2 big plays for Paulsboro. And then, unfortunately, when they were going to kick one, Sterling was offsides. They elected to go for 2, and that's the difference in the game.
Credit to Tino Savarese, has had an incredible first half defensively for Sterling. A couple of turnovers he fell on top of. He's done it all. He's really had a great first half there, Kevin.
And I don't know if you mentioned Deuce Everett, the job he's done. Kind of put out on a little bit of an island when you have the trips left. He's at one-on-one coverage on the short side, and it's really come up big in coverage. Not only coverage, but has made some run stops.
This first offensive possession, I think, is huge in this game because as we left the first half with all the negative things happening, you're still only down 8. You can erase that entire first half if you can get a good drive here.
Yeah, I think it's about what went on in that drive where they were successful in going to different weapons, hitting different areas of the field, mixing in your run with your throws, having Potts get to the outside, and just keeping the same thing from a variety standpoint.
And we're going to do it all over as there was offside, so we'll move them back 5 and do it all over again.
Shout out the concession stand.
Wow.
Their hot dog game is strong.
Mr. Schul's in charge of usually our post-game food, and I don't know where they got those hot dogs, but man, they were huge.
They were. I feel like I just had like 4. I think I'm finished for the day eating, but they were tremendous, and they always do it.
The lady who cooked them kept us all up to date as what was available. What
she did a great job.
Scared the heck out of us. That's why I wouldn't order a hamburger because she said they weren't ready yet, and we're like, okay, but. That's the best we've seen in a long time.
The grill game is strong here.
Yes, it is.
No doubt.
Football good, grill good, wrestling good. Yep. Check. As we start the second half all over again. This is a redo. Remember we used to do this in the yard, redo? Well, we're redoing. This is a real short one. Somebody better get on this one. It bounces nicely to Bub Hall, who had it bounce back to him at the 40, and Sterling will take over 1st and 10.
That looked like one of those, like my approach shot to the green there, a little high, and then it spins backwards right into the cup. But no, it doesn't happen. I'm just kidding.
Now the wind is kicking up a little bit more, so it's blowing from Sterling's back towards the end zone they are traveling. So we'll see if they can use that to their advantage. It'll be 1st and 10 Sterling from their own 39. Touchdown pass thus far by Potts. He is the lone setback in the shotgun. 2 wideouts far side, 3 wideouts to the far side, 2 near side, I should say. Potts in the shotgun. Gets it across. Valeriano double clutches, then fumbles. What's the call? They say incomplete. The umpire right there said he did not catch the ball. So that's going to leave a 2nd down and 10 First time I think we've seen that format in a while, that formation, as they go back to it. Now the 3 wide receivers to the near side of the field.
It looked like after that throw, Trey Potts threw that a little bit weird.
Potts on a quarterback draw, and he is eaten up and now gets away. I don't know how he got out of there and gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Reminds me of Randall Cunningham from a few decades ago.
I was gonna mention Carson Wentz when he thought he was gonna get sacked, then comes out of nowhere, Houdini style.
I thought he was done on that one. It's a 3rd down and 9 on what I think is a huge set of downs for Sterling.
Well, just great penetration by Paulsboro from that defensive line.
3rd down and 9 from the far hash mark. Morgan. He is going to get back the original line of scrimmage, and that is it as he's taken down by Breon Hardy, the junior. Here comes the punt team.
I don't know if that inside run game hasn't worked really all day for Sterling. And on 3rd and 8.
Yeah, you thought maybe you could catch them off guard.
Yep.
With again, you've got the defensive backs out with help, even the one-on-one coverage and help in one-on-one coverage. So you might.
Here comes a dangerous snap. The wind will be at Morgan's back. Good snap. He wants to throw. There's nobody to throw to. They call the fake play, trying to get the pass for X Miller across the middle of the field. He had triple coverage on him. And a huge gamble now may be costing Sterling some points here.
I don't know why Sterling really went for that one. I would not have thought of that, doing that this early in the 3rd quarter. You're still by technically you're down by 2 scores. I wouldn't have gone that for that 3rd down. You still have a whole 3rd quarter and a 4th quarter to come.
10 minutes, 22 seconds to go, still in the 3rd quarter. Sterling trails it 15-6. 1st and 10. Bateman tries to get the edge, but Potts will get him first after a gain of about 2.
And if anything, I don't know that I would have went. I agree with John. Don't know that I would have went for that one on 4th down. But what it does kind of show is that how much confidence you have in your defense, and for the most part, what they were able to do in that first half.
Yeah, the wind is, you can hear it. John is outside the press box. You can hear it picking up in his mic right now. It's blowing from left to right in the face of Thomas. He rolls right, gets the pass off. It is complete to Gant. Gant is going to be short of the 1st down as Everett is out there on the tackle. It's going to leave him about 3 yards shy of the 1st down.
Well, good upfield pressure from the outside. Again, not allowing Thomas to get around the outside, and that's just a great play call, getting the ball to Gant downfield. Nice, easy throw. Good high percentage play right there.
3rd and a long 3. Bateman gets the 1st down and more as Potts trips him up, but he's going to get to about the 21-yard line, a gain of almost 10.
3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, and even on the 2-point conversion, that's the play they go to. They've had success all day with hitting it up the gut, probably averaging about 7 or 8 yards a carry.
Just outside the 20, 1st and 10. Bateman, same play. Stacked up on the line. Atkins in there as he gets about 3. Also in there, Mayo David. Going to leave him 2nd and 7. We talked about how efficient they've been in between the tackles today. 2nd down and 7. Rolling to his left is Thomas. Going to the end zone. Has a man there. It is caught for the touchdown. Preston Moore on the touchdown. That's his 3rd touchdown pass of the year.
Now, there's different ways you can gain separation. On a go route, you're just using pure speed. But Moore right there gained his separation off a real nice cut. And Thomas just threw the ball right on the money.
So Sterling rolls the dice with a fake kick on 4th and long. Does not get it, and it leads to points. And this is one team you don't want to be chasing the points with, as the kicker is trying to get his kicking shoe on. Still having trouble. Finally now able to come out is Amani Seeger. Seeger for the extra point. It's 21-6 right now. Paulsboro with the lead. Still trying to get that shoe on. He may have to go barefoot in a second. The referees are letting him take it. Here we go. He's going to go straight on for this kick. Line drive. And it is good. 8 minutes, 20 seconds to go, third quarter. Paulsboro now leads it 22-6. We talked early on about what Sterling is able to do in the playoffs, their chances. Let's look at South Jersey Group 1. Woodbury is 1. Paulsboro is 2. So if things fall into place, that could be your finalist. Salem is 3. Gloucester City 5. Woodstown 6. Audubon 7. Penns Grove 10.
And you're looking, if the playoffs started today, it would be a Paulsboro Gateway first-round matchup. And you look at some of the teams that are in this Group 1. You see some familiar names like, obviously Woodbury, Gloucester City, Woodstown, some more local teams. But then you start getting in like South Huntington, Middlesex, Asbury Park, Keyport. And that's all what the state's trying to do here. They're trying to get that state champion, and the North is going to be playing the South here.
Yeah, they're coming into our South Division, and like I said, the embarrassing part would be if a North team becomes a South Jersey champion, then that's laughable at that point. But that's for another Sports Talk Radio day, I guess. Thank you. 8:20 to go here, third quarter. Sterling down 2 touchdowns. They're going to have to get some offense going. Here's a line drive kick. Bobbling and taking it here is Agbesi. And he goes down about the 33-yard line. So it's a shame. For as much as Sterling was able to do positive, they just can't get out of their own way right now.
Yeah, and it's about right now getting into some type of a rhythm, and it starts with just getting a first down here. Don't even think points, just get a first down and try to build up some offensive momentum, and also goes a long way in keeping this Paulsboro offense off the field.
So 1st and 10 for Sterling from their own 30. Morgan gets by 1, might get a yard or 2 before he's hit hard out of bounds by Keyshawn Saunders, maybe a yard.
Really good job by this Paulsboro defense doing what they have to do from a discipline standpoint, making the right defensive reads, and again, getting a lot of bodies out there and anything that goes to the outside.
2nd down and 9. Again, we're in the third quarter. 7:45 remaining. Paulsboro leads it 22-6. Paulsboro has scored 22 unanswered points. 2 wideouts to the far side. Morgan to the left of Potts. Morgan comes to the short side of the field. Tries to get 1 block. Runs into a man. He's taken down by Devon Horton. Give him about 2 to leave him 3rd and 7. It still comes down to Kevin. Potts is going to have to start making some throws.
No doubt. And you could see they know Valeriano is a favorite weapon of Potts. You've got the defender, the outside cornerback covering, but you also have your help with the safety shaded that way.
So it's going to be 3rd and 7 from the 35. 2 wideouts already to the far side of the field. Butler Mayhew now in the backfield. Get the pass off. It's caught by Valeriano. Now, depending on the spot, they may have just given him the first down. Yeah, the referee who came in is going to give it to him. Tough catch by Valeriano because it looked like it was a little behind him.
Some soft coverage there, too, by Paulsboro. They were playing way off the ball there, and I think Sterling got away with taking advantage of that soft coverage, Kevin.
Yeah, and like I said, a real nice catch. But the good thing about that throw is it was down. It wasn't up.
So move the chains from the 42, 1st and 10, 6:30 and counting here in the third. It's 22-6. Sterling trails it. Butler Mayhew, he is going to lose a yard or 2 as he's not able to get anywhere up the middle, as Amani Seeger, the kicker, in there. Got his shoe changed again. He's ready, makes the stop.
And you can see Paulsboro's playing the right way defensively with the lead, with not only having the safety over there, but having them a little bit deeper, making sure they keep everybody in front of them, trying to guard against the big play.
2nd and 12. Potts, look out, gets by one. Not able to get by the second as Ivan Murray comes in from his end position, and they're going to lose a couple more.
I think Potts is down.
Looks like he's in a little bit of pain.
You get a shot of him there. And then we're going to find out, I believe, when we had another quarterback, was it Eli Thompson we saw come in after him before? I'm trying to remember who the backup
we
was.
had Rowe.
It was
Oh,
Jameer
Rowe, okay.
The
So it was
freshman
Rowe?
came in.
And you cannot lose Trey Potts. Remember, he's also your long snapper today, too.
Oh, jeez. I forgot about that. So the clock stops. We have 5:46 to go, third period. Sterling down 22-6 in a game that they led 6-0. We talked about the playoffs in Group 1. For Sterling in Group 2, right now they sit as the number 12 seed, and if they lose, they could drop a little further. The problem being is the teams that they could play, they could play what looks like one of 3 teams. One would be a high school called Delaware Valley. They're in Frenchtown, New Jersey. They're 72 miles away. It's roughly an hour and 40-minute drive. They could also play a high school called Bernard's, 88 miles away, about an hour and 45-minute drive, or Hillside, 82 miles away. And we talked about the new playoff system, which is, again, it's what the coaches wanted. It's going to be a system where they're going to try and get a state champion. But, again, I think the problem for me as a fan and a lot of people is there's teams we've never heard of, and you're going to have to drive for an opening round game an hour and 45 minutes. That's tough.
Yeah, I understand the point, and I know what they're trying to do, and I'm a big fan of tradition, and I don't like getting away from the Thanksgiving Day games. As you see, Trey Potts is up, which is good news. But you know, it's they're trying some different things out, Tad, and is this what we're going to be talking about 5-10 years from now, doing this whole thing? We don't know. We just don't know that yet. But for me, being a fan and going to high school football games my entire life, losing out on a Thanksgiving Day game is a real killer.
Thing.
All
I
right,
agree with that.
we'll get back to that point in a second as Christian Valeriano has now become the quarterback. These are his first snaps as quarterback for the Sterling Knight as a player. It's going to be 3rd and 13 for Valeriano. Probably the tallest young man on the field. He is hit. The ball is loose, and it's incomplete. As blitzing in was Demir Avant, and he tattooed Valeriano. And you would expect that with a quarterback coming in his first snaps. He just eyed up a receiver and didn't see the weak side pressure.
And I don't even think he was hit on that weak side. As we look at Trey Potts, after being down, taking a play off, is back in this game.
So Potts will snap it. It's going to be 4th and 13. The wind will be at Sterling's back on this kick, as Preston Moore is going to stand about his own 35. Let's see if he can get through the snap here. Good one there. Line drive kick and a beauty. Moore's not going to get a chance to get a hand on it. He's going to go all the way back and picks it up at the 1 and goes into the end zone. Now he comes out across the 10, across the 20, and out of bounds. And what an athletic play from the junior Preston Moore. Because he could have let it go into the end zone. It would have came out to the 20.
I think coaches are going to talk to him a little bit about that one, because even though it kind of worked out, that could have been a big play that really is something Sterling needs right now to get back in this game.
5:19 to go, third quarter. Paulsboro with the ball. They lead it 22-6. 22 unanswered points. Thomas will go back at his quarterback position in the shotgun. He'll be there with Bateman. 2 wideouts near side, 1 wideout far side.
I have to think they're going to go to Bateman here with their backs against the wall deep in their own end of the field.
As predicted, there he goes. Pushing. And going to get to about the 25. Mayo David in there on the stop after a gain of about 6. Sterling just can't stop that.
No, and again, you know, you're in your base formation with the 4 linemen. with the linebackers, and you really can't do much else because you need bodies to the outside covering the receivers. So kind of shorthanded handling a pretty good offensive line in Paulsboro.
2nd down and 4 for the Red Raiders. 4.5 minutes to go here in this 3rd quarter. Bateman holds 2 hands in the ball, and a flag flies back where the quarterback was, and we'll see what happens here. You would think something against Paulsboro as it's going to be holding and cost Paulsboro 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've run up the middle. Most of the time, Bateman's had a lot of room and hasn't taken on too much contact other than right at the end of the play, maybe defensive back coming up to make a tackle. But, boy, you can see right there, took on a couple defenders and took about 3 yards, obviously getting negated with the penalty. But a real nice job by Bateman, keeping the legs moving and keeping low like you want to as a running back.
I'm hard-pressed to remember the last time Paulsboro was penalized in this game. Maybe one time. 2nd down after the penalty, be 2nd and about 15 with 4:26 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Paulsboro's up 22-6.
This is where you need the defensive turnover, no doubt about it. Turn this game right around.
From the shotgun is Thomas. He wants to pass. He's going to scramble this side. Gets the pass off. A man is there, and it's caught. Keyshawn Sanders. Sanders has one man to beat, and he is going to score as that pass goes for 86 yards.
Boy, we've seen Thomas a couple different times. First with the initial touchdown, with going with a pump fake, freezing the receivers. Guys, I think he looked at every different option there and probably ended up going to Sanders, which looked to be his 4th or 5th read. Just a great job, showing great patience by Thomas. Going a little bit to the right side, readjusting, extending the play, and putting a perfect pass right on the money.
To show you how good Thomas has been today, he has 9 touchdowns in the season. That is his 4th of the game as it goes 86 yards. That was pretty. As you mentioned, Kevin, surveyed the field, ran out, and he just put one right where it needed to be. Here's Amani Seeger for the extra point. Seeger, a line drive straight on. That one is no good. 3:55 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Paulsboro, 28 unanswered points, leads at 28-6.
And it's only natural. If you're a defensive back and I see the quarterback go right, how many times are you going to not give up on the play but kind of shade a little bit towards that side? Because for the most part, you're not going to have a high school quarterback go to your 4th read. It's just not going to happen. But it's just an incredible job by Thomas, really just looking and see what the defense gave him and ultimately putting the ball where it needed to go.
Update from around the Colonial, the Garnets and Willingboro in a battle right now. End of the 3rd quarter, Garnets with a 1-point lead, 7-6.
That could be a big win for Haddon Heights if they can get something going in that.
Wow, yeah, you talk about getting some power points.
That game, I believe, is at Willingboro.
We'll get to more of our upcoming broadcast schedule this week. A lot of playoff games. In fact, all playoff games remaining after today. 28-6, 3:55 remaining in the 3rd as the Red Raiders will kick off. Last couple kicks have been short. This one's short as well. And it's going to go, it did go out of bounds. The referee is not going to throw the flag.
No, I think Potts got his hands on it.
Wow, that
right
was really
before
close.
It went out of bounds. But that was one of those plays where I think Potts actually had to do that because all you need to do is have the ball bounce back inbounds, and they can recover it.
And he could just push it out of bounds if he wanted. I wish this is where I wish I had a replay because I think he blocked the official on the sideline who couldn't quite see it, but nonetheless, 1st and 10. Sterling is going to have to open it up here. Potts is back at quarterback. 2 wideouts far side. The lone setback is Morgan. It's going to be on Potts' shoulders here now. Potts not going to go anywhere. He is going to lose about 2 or 3 on that play as he's tackled on the play by Amir Seeger and Sam Powell. And this is, we knew this coming in. The offense, unfortunately, when they lost quarterback Jeremiah Thompson, the offense just has not been the same.
And that option play, if you're going against a well-disciplined defense like you have from Paulsboro, very difficult to execute that play. Everybody just kind of has a man and stays where they need to be on the field.
2nd down and 12. Morgan now to the left of Potts. Potts to his left, options, gets by one, gets by another, gets the edge. That's a nice run on the play just to get something going by Morgan.
And you saw Paulsboro there to make the play, had defenders to the outside, good upfield pressure, and good discipline. That's just a great individual effort by Makai Morgan to win the race to the outside and get up the edge for about 6 yards.
And the wind has really picked up. 3rd and 6. If Sterling ever needed a first down, it was right here. Looking. Almost intercepted there. As in the way was Devon Horton looking for Kristen Valeriano. And it looks like the punt team is on.
And that's one of those plays where if you're Horton, you can step up in front, take a chance because you know you have a lot of defenders back. As Paulsboro keeps guys in center field to avoid the big play. And Horton almost came up with a pick right there.
Morgan's going to kick about his own 20. Back to receive will be Preston Moore. He stands on his own 45. 2:25 remaining here in the 3rd. It's been all Paulsboro. Straight up kick. Going to bounce about the 45 and takes a Sterling bounce. And it's going to die at about the 28-yard line. I want to remind you the broadcast schedule coming up. On Monday, there are 2 games you can watch. 2 o'clock, we will have a boys soccer game against Pleasantville live on YouTube. At 3:45, we will be live on YouTube and Channel 19 on cable with volleyball versus Pleasantville. Tuesday, live at 2 o'clock with girls soccer. And if they both win Monday and Tuesday, and they are expected to win, we then go Thursday and Friday with soccer games all at home.
Some updates also from the Colonial Division. Dell ran all over Burlington City in the 4th quarter, 47-6.
That'll help ensure them a high spot in the playoffs. 1st and 10. Bateman's been the workhorse. Even when Sterling is there, he carries ahead for 4 or 5 as Davis was in there and Shipley were in there.
And they're doing a better job getting to him earlier, but as you said, Tad just keeps the legs going and gets a couple extra yards with defenders on his back.
2nd down, we'll call it 7. 1:44 remaining, 3rd quarter. Paulsboro up 28-6. Pass far side. Good job to catch that. It's going to be short of the 1st down. Real quick hitter. Looked like the pass went to Sharif Green. He's a sophomore. It's going to leave him 3rd and 3. Mayo David in there on the tackle.
Thomas just really taking advantage of what Sterling's giving him. Not always all the way down the field. A couple short ones also.
1:06 remaining in the 3rd. Pass near side. This is Sanders. Tripped up by Potts, who was sitting on his keister to make the tackle there. No gain. It's going to be 4th and about 4.
Well, that's the play where you have the pass to the outside receiver stepping in. Your inside receiver is going to block. A great play by Trey Potts, coming up as a run stopper and doing a real nice job evading the wide receiver who was there to make the block and ultimately making the play.
Sanders in to kick. He'll be standing about his own 21-yard line. They send back Jameer Rowe, a freshman, back with Christian Valeriano, a senior. Low snap. Sanders. Sterling not there. He's going to get a chance. It's not a pretty kick, but he gets it off. And it's touched by one of his own teammates at the 41-yard line. I think Sterling can run with this, and they do. As now, let's see what the referees say what happens here. I thought, Kevin, correct me now, I thought you could pick it up and run. The referees are saying no, I believe, as it was touched by a Paulsboro player first. The referees are going to come in and talk about this one.
Yeah, not sure if a whistle was blown.
Did you hear
even
one?
If it was a bad whistle. Yeah, I didn't, but if it was, even though if it was the wrong call, the play's going to be dead, and they can't advance it. But
I even heard the other sideline, Sterling saying run. Let's see where they play. I think they're going to place it where he picked it up. All right, so Paulsboro touched it first. Let's see where they put the ball. We're waiting for a ball to come in. Now they're going to talk to the officials on the far side of the field. Here comes the ball in. Now they're going to talk to Coach Harris as to what he would like to do here.
And, guys, the clock is out.
Oh, geez.
They're going to re-kick this.
Wow.
So the clock is out. I believe there was around 30 seconds left when Paulsboro went to punt this, and now they have to.
Mr. Vojading did a great job. He just uses electrical magic, put it back together. 12 seconds on the clock. Now, I think Sterling wants to have Paulsboro re-kick this.
I don't understand why they're re-kicking. I mean, you're not going to get any better. Chances are you're not going to get any better field position.
Honestly, I would not even kick it. It would be better if just to leave it as it was and
that's what
take
Kevin
the field
says.
position.
Yeah, just all right. It's going to be a punt again. Maybe you're hoping for a bad snap. Now Sterling running on a player late in Oz Lee. Well, it would have been what, around the 42-yard line if it was picked up there. Let's see the difference. Now they get a good snap. Kick goes far side. It's going to bounce. And on the re-kick, Sterling just lost 25 yards. And I believe that is going to do it. So, again, I wish I could explain exactly what happened there, but I'm really unsure. I don't know. I can't even say if Sterling had a choice to re-kick or not. My guess is they did, the way the referee went over to talk to him.
Definitely one where hopefully we can get some clarification and talking to some people after the game.
Gateway leading Clayton 9-6. So a lot of low-scoring affairs here. The Garnets are now up 14-6.
That's shocking.
That's a big one.
Now, I don't even know. Haddon Heights is not even in. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Let me look at
Again, it's really even confusing up here. I was talking to the scoreboard operator up here to see what he had with that as well, and we can't quite figure that out, Kevin, with what was going on.
Yeah, but good hustle by you. Mr. K going from one end of the press box to the other.
Sprint, hustle.
Sprinting back.
It was 12.3 seconds.
And he could
Let
have went,
me get my soda.
I'm saying 15 to 16 feet. Just an incredible job.
And that's after
Mr. K.
the hot dog. He's got the hot dog lingering in there.
True.
Two of
I didn't
them.
even
I had
account for
two.
that.
He had a pair of hot dogs. Wow.
Now, let's take us home with Mr. Strauss here. Let's see if he can bring us some points with Sterling trailing at 28-6.
Sterling will start off on their own 36-yard line after a bizarre end to the third quarter. 1st and 10. Potts, after being injured earlier in that third quarter, back into the game. Morgan, almost a missed handoff there, and that caused a delay, and all over that one, Brandon Armstrong, among others, for the Red Raiders.
And that's just a feel play. The running back has to feel it. The quarterback has to feel it. And I think our running back thought he was going, and the quarterback wasn't quite sure.
2nd down and 12. Potts back to pass. Plenty of time. Pocket collapses. Now he's going to run it himself. He's across the 40, and he's down inside the 45-yard line, down to 46, near a first down. I think they're going to give it to him.
Good job.
Needed 12, got 13.
That was a nice job by Potts, looking far side. Coverage was there. Almost got sacked. Managed to get out of it. Got something positive.
Yeah, one of the few times this defensive line hasn't really just kept Potts stopped in the middle and has maintained containment. Left that area open off to that left side. He took advantage of it.
Sterling going into the wind. They're going to go trips to the far side. Morgan on the carry. Gain of 1.
Gain of 1.
Very disciplined is this defensive front line from Paulsboro. They hold their own area, stay flat, and good job to make the tackle there.
Yeah, we had a good view of that. You see them just get their hands up on the offensive lineman. Good fundamental techniques up there.
Potts looking for a pass. He's going to go to the right-hand side for Valeriano. Is he inbounds? Do they call it a catch? No, they're saying he's out of bounds. Incomplete, 3rd and 9 on the way with 10:32 remaining in the 4th.
Well, they're the types of situations you want to get Valeriano in where it's one-on-one coverage. The safety doesn't have a chance to come over there for help. Turned him around, almost made an outstanding catch.
Potts entering this game 31 of 58 for 358 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pair of picks. Does have the 1 touchdown to Jameer Rowe. That was Sterling's only lead of the game. Potts passes, and it's picked off. Keyshawn Saunders for the Red Raiders with the interception out to midfield into Sterling territory. And for Potts, that's his 2nd interception of the game.
Yeah, that's that same play they had to Valeriano that caused the big interception. It really ultimately turned this game around. And same result, same thing, and same result. Threw the ball a little bit high there to Jameer Rowe. And
it's easy for us.
Made him pay for it.
It's easy for us to say up here, and because there's guys in big red shirts with big bodies running at you, and there's people running all over the field. But unfortunately, it just comes down to they were a little overthrown, and it's cost them 2 times now.
So the Red Raider offense will trot back onto the field, leading 28-6 with 10:20 remaining in the 4th. They're going to go with Bateman up the middle, gains 8. Tackled on the play by Sam Agbesi.
Really like the fake there by Thomas on that. He had me fooled for a second, thought he might throw it. Well executed.
Really having an outstanding day back there at the quarterback position.
He's making all the throws he needs to make.
Thomas from the shotgun on 2nd and 2. Going to go into the flat for Saunders. He gets the 1st down, gain of 5, tackled by Deuce Everett.
And a real simple play, but I think it underlines the challenge in going against a kid like Thomas, where a simple play like that, but you see a tight spiral, and his release is quick. You have very little time to break on the ball if you're a defensive back. And the way he couples that with his ability to get the ball downfield just makes him so dangerous from the quarterback position.
1st and 10, ball at the 37-yard line for the Red Raiders. Put a man in motion, coming to the near side is Moore. Now he trots back to the far side. Bateman, again, up the middle, being dragged down by the jersey, gets away inside the red zone, tackled by Deuce Everett. He's trying to be dragged down by Agbesi, and he had him by the shirt tail and could bring him down.
Bateman does a good job, keeps the legs moving, keeps churning, keeps pushing. He's very rarely taken down on first contact.
Now that, and especially when your first contact a lot of times isn't until 7, 8 yards down the field, usually against the smaller defender when you're talking about the defensive backs making plays at that point.
Took the Red Raiders a little while to wake up offensively, but when they did, they've done it in a big way. 28 unanswered points by the Red Raiders, under 9 to play here in the 4th, with a 28-6 lead. Thomas with Bateman. They give it to him. Bateman swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Jumbo Reddick all over, and you can't miss Jumbo on the field.
Yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with. Just a sophomore, he is a big, athletic young man.
Boy.
And he looked up after he got tackled. It was like saying, I don't know if I always want to run a 350-pound guy on my back.
Amazingly, gained 1. Loss of 1, rather. It'll be 2nd down. Pass inside the 15. Complete. Looks like they go to Hardy on that one.
It's amazing how precise Thomas is on those passes. As you mentioned, Kevin, nice spiral, puts it just where he needs to put it every time.
That might have been to Preston Moore, I believe. Either way, it's a gain of about 5, 3rd down and 4. Under 8 minutes left to play here in the 4th. Thomas from the shotgun. Bateman does not get the carry. Pump fake by Thomas. Looking, throws it, and it's incomplete. He was being pressured on the play by a couple Sterling defenders, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Jameer Richardson, as well as Rich Dissett. First time we've called his name all game in there on the pressure.
But it just highlights, I mean, obviously he didn't get the completion, but you just get a quick glimpse right there of how good Thomas is at extending the play and going for as long as he can, waiting. Ultimately was tackled by the strong defenders, but has had a lot of success when he's done that in waiting and getting the ball downfield today.
When you're up by 18 in the 4th quarter with 7.5 to go, you can do this. You can go for it here on 4th down and 4. Man in motion is Preston Moore going from right to left. Pass is incomplete. Sterling will take over on downs. They were looking on that far side for Keyshawn Sanders. And Sterling will get the ball back inside their own 15, 1st and 10.
Amazing how this game just turned around. You think back to Sterling coming up with the first touchdown of the game. We're up. But I think you just have to look at that when you're playing a team that's so good, has good tradition, just a great culture. You can't make mistakes against this team. And when you make mistakes against the okay teams, you can get away with it. When you make mistakes against teams of this caliber, they're going to make you pay for it.
Still plenty of time left for Sterling, but they're going to have to strike quick and strike fast. And multiple times to get back into this one. And they're not going to do it with a play. And when you run into that defensive line of the Red Raiders, Kevin, it's going to be tough sledding.
Really, and it starts with the penetration they're getting on that defensive line. And, it stops the run up the middle, but also when they get that, they also have linebackers moving back and forth when Sterling tries to go to the outside. It also stops that.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. Potts from the shotgun. Gives it to Morgan, eludes one tackler in the backfield, trying to get the edge, and he's tripped up nicely on the play by Devin Horton. Otherwise, he would have picked up at least another handful of yards, Tad.
One of the few misses on tackles, too. They had a chance to get a tackle for a loss. Good job by Morgan to get outside and at least give him a makeable 3rd down.
Call it 3rd down and 4. Under 6.5 left to play here in the 4th. Sterling trailing this one 28-6. They had a 6-0 lead until Paulsboro in their air attack went to work and have scored the last 28 points. Coming to the near side, Nemo Butler Mayhew is tackled for a loss at the 15. They go backwards on 3rd and 5. It's going to bring up a punt situation here. Loses a couple. They're inside their own 20.
And this Paulsboro defense is just getting more and more confident as the game gets going. Obviously, the initial hole wasn't there. Butler Mayhew bounced it out to the outside, but these guys can recover and get there so quick that really had no chance.
So we're going to go for it here on 4th, and we'll call it either a long 5 or a short 6. I'll let you decide. Trey Potts hit as he throws, he was looking for Jameer Rowe, didn't find him. Penalty markers on the field, picked off by Paulsboro. Picking it off is Sharif Green, and we'll take a look at the penalty.
I feel like this is going to be a face mask on
you could see it in the open field, John. You're right. And again, Kevin, a case of overthrowing the football.
Yeah, and that one was overthrown a little bit and gave him a little bit of chance to go up for the ball, but probably could have been a little bit shorter. But, again, under a lot of duress, Trey Potts, he's doing the best out there. Again, a true leader on this team, and he's just stepping up and playing a position he's not used to playing and doing the best he can.
That's all you can ask for, Rob.
And we saw this last year with Tino Savarese had the quarterback duties here this time last year, and in a tough situation for Sterling last year when they were playing on this field. And it's credit to Trey Potts, leader on the field, off the field, in the classroom, just a great all-around kid doing the best he can for the Silver Knight squad all season long.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you had to think, if you had Jeremiah Thompson, Trey Potts would have been such a great weapon to have at his natural position. Getting the ball to him in space and doing all the great things he can do when he gets
It's
the
almost
ball.
like you lost two positions. You take Potts out and you lose a quarterback.
First and goal from the 9 for the Red Raiders. Thomas is going to shift Bateman to his right. He'll get the carry right up the middle, and he dives over the goal line. Are they going to say he's in?
Yes, on the side they did. The side judge gave him the touchdown.
They did give him the touchdown. From 9 yards out, Bateman with another touchdown. And it's 34-6.
Now, Paulsboro is just rolling right now.
And this is not a good feeling if you're a Sterling fan or players. You are going to go into the playoffs on a losing note. You might drop down a spot or two and may have to travel an hour and 45 minutes in your first game.
The extra point by Amani Seeger, who's been busy today. The hold from Thomas with 5:02 remaining. The snap, the hold. The kick is low, and the kick is good. 35-6. 5 minutes and 2 seconds left to go here in the fourth. Paulsboro in control after trailing 6-0 early. They're on their way to the 7th win of the season.
And for Paulsboro, they're going to be 7-1 going in the playoffs. Their lone loss to Woodbury, who most likely will be the 1 seed. So Group 1 is most likely, if the numbers hold up, would face eventually a Woodbury-Paulsboro final, which would be a lot of fun. That's happened a million times before. Again, a lot of tradition, a lot of rivalry. A lot of people want to check that game out. Group 2 was Sterling. They sit number 12 right now. They could drop in this, and realistically looking at 3 possible opponents. One is Delaware Valley High School, Frenchtown, New Jersey, 72 miles away. Or Bernard High School in Bernards, New Jersey, 88 miles away. Or Hillside, 82 miles away.
Question, are we going to go to those games, though?
Right now, we may not be, John, because the soccer team may be home with games at that same time, if it's a Friday especially. So right now, it is unlikely for us to travel that far on a day we have a home playoff game.
Good kickoff goes into the end zone, and it will be Sterling football from their own 25.
Yeah, if Sterling was home,
20 rather.
or excuse me, Sterling was more, when I say home, more in a reasonable drive on a Saturday game, we would try to make an attempt. But when you're talking an hour and 40 minutes away, that's a little crazy on a day, especially if it's a Friday and we're going to have a home second-round soccer game.
5:02 remaining. Sterling showing this one 35-6. Potts still in the game. Valeriano going to line up to the near side, put 2 receivers on the far side. Potts to Valeriano, catches it at the 25, makes a couple men miss momentarily, and dives across for about a 9-yard gain.
Got a shot of the throw there, and you can see how the wind really pushed that to the right.
Yeah. Valeriano doing a good job adjusting.
But there are 2 wideouts to the far side. I was going to say, initially there was nobody out there.
They put the receivers, they stack all 3 on the far side now. Potts with Morgan to his left on second down and short. Morgan going to get the carry up the middle. He's got the first down as he approaches the 35. That's about as far as he's going to get. Gain of about 6.
And most likely, it looks like by body size, it looks like a lot of substitutes are in for Paulsboro right now.
Senior day here at Paulsboro as they recognize their seniors pregame. Congratulations to their seniors. Potts throws it out in the flat to Rowe. Rowe with some space and makes a couple nice moves down the far sideline. Jameer Rowe turns on the speed inside the 35. And a nice pass completion to Jameer Rowe, who has Sterling's only touchdown.
Yeah, they've done a real good job in not allowing Jameer Rowe to get into space. Obviously, the younger guys are out there, but we've got glimpses of Jameer Rowe as a freshman and what he can do this year. A real game breaker and somebody Sterling's really looking forward to having for the next 3 years after this.
Ball placed at the 36-yard line. They're going to go with the option. Potts going to keep it himself. No, now he pitches it. He's pitching it to Morgan. Morgan is going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. Makai Morgan from 37 yards out puts Sterling on the board. 35-12 with 3:49 left to go in the fourth.
Now, you can see you get the younger guys in there, much more room off to that left side. It's less of a situation. We have bodies flying right in front of you. You have to make split-second decisions, and obviously both Potts and then ultimately Morgan make them pay for it.
Let's give Potts some credit. He read it well, held it to the last second, made a nice pitch.
On to attempt the two-point conversion is Trey Potts on the Sterling offense, bobbled by Potts. He's being flushed out to his right, and I don't think he's going to get there. Two-point conversion, no good. So 3:49 remaining here in the fourth. Paulsboro 35, Sterling 12.
It's good to feel something positive as you're getting ready to end this game.
And you saw what Potts did right there, but that's the one thing. I mean, he stepped in and played a position this year. It's not his normal position, but more importantly, when you're playing quarterback, it's probably the toughest position to just step in and play where you haven't had a lot of experience. I think most of the other positions on a field, you can adapt a little bit quicker, but quarterback is about making reads and, just getting the experience of making the reads, and you have to make them quick, and especially when you're playing teams the likes of Paulsboro. We played Willingboro, Haddonfield. You even have to make the reads that much quicker, and to really just be playing the position your senior year just makes it very difficult. It's something I don't think anybody could really master in that short a period of time. But Potts is just doing the best he can. And, again, what a great kid, what a great team player. And he's just doing what he has to do from a leadership standpoint in this team.
Garnets are still up 14-6 against Willingboro, who we saw last week. Really, really impressive squad. It's Willingboro. They are 6-2 on the season. Sterling lost to Willingboro last week, 22-14 in double overtime.
That's shocking. Heights isn't even in the Group 1 playoff picture. That's a shocker.
If we get a final score there, we'll definitely pass that along to you, as that's like you said, Kevin, a shocking result. This kickoff taken by one of the upbacks. I believe that's Luke Hinkle on the return. And Paulsboro just going to take it 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line.
And I'm looking at this Paulsboro team. They've always had a great tradition. And I think a lot of years, they've had bounce, but they've had a lot of great players. I don't know that they have that stud player this year, but, man, what a complete team. They defend the run, seem to defend the pass, come up with turnovers. Offensively, they're very diverse.
They're going to go with the sophomore quarterback, Roman Honorado, to run the offense here as the substitutes have checked in the game for Paulsboro, being up 35-12 with under 4 to play. So Honorado is in charge of the Red Raider backfield. Honorado hands it off to Jordan Bowie, the sophomore running back, 5'6", 195. No gain on the play, 2nd out of 10.
It's a good chance here for some of the underclassmen to get a little varsity work in.
Big number 25 checks into the game for Paulsboro. Sets up to Honorado's, now shifts it to the left. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 far side. 2nd down and 10 from the 40. Just shy of the 40, rather. They're going to take as much time as they can, under 3 minutes to play in this one. Honorado hands it off, and really going absolutely nowhere. Ran into that Sterling defensive wall there. First one there. Jumbo Reddick, among others there for Sterling. Andre Vai in there as well for Sterling.
You're seeing number 79 in for Sterling for the first time. Zay Lytle, big number 79. You can't miss him. He's shoulders and helmet above everyone else.
Unfortunately, had an injury the early part of the year with his hand, but he's in there now.
He is a big, big dude.
Is he a freshman or a sophomore?
I think a sophomore. Junior, yeah. He's a big man.
Honorado just going to wait. 2:10 and counting remaining here in the fourth. We'll wait for the near side officials to start counting off. Walks onto the field, and we'll start counting off momentarily. He has his hand up, and then they snap the ball. Honorado going to keep it himself and be dragged down by Dylan Herbert, the junior, across the 35. No gain on the play. 4th down and long, and the punt team comes on with 100 seconds remaining here in the fourth.
Well, Sterling's just got to regroup, and, we're talking about all the different playoff scenarios. Definitely, talking to some people, have a shot against some of these teams, don't know a whole lot about, but I think where it would really get tough is when you get to the top part of the bracket against the Willingboros, Hadfields.
But what's strange is when you look at Willingboro, we took them to double overtime. You feel like,
yeah.
you know what? That's odd.
Yeah.
What's even odder is seeing West Defford at number 16.
Punt is going to be taken on a hop by Jameer Rowe, and he's pushed out of bounds by Luke Hinkle at about the 37-yard line. 55 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Sterling going to drop to 5-4 and lose their 3rd game in a row, and end their regular season anyway, with a 5-4 record, but a vastly improved team from one year to the next.
Yeah, no question about it. And the game just turned around on a couple mistakes. And again, I'll go back to good teams like this. You can't give them opportunities, or they're going to take advantage of it. We talked about the turnovers, and even Thomas waiting. You leave one receiver open, boom, he finds them. So this is going to be a tough Paulsboro team to play for anybody in the Group 1 playoffs has to go against them.
And if you're just joining us, it was a 6-0 Sterling lead with 1:48. That's when Sterling scored the opening score for either squad. 1:48 left to go in the first half. And then Paulsboro just turned, it's like a light switch. They took advantage, like you said, Kevin, of a lot of Sterling mistakes. And they went into the half 15-6 and never looked back.
Yeah, and Dad, we talked about Thomas and what he's been able to do, where there was a lot of good pump fakes, freezing defenders, doing those little things that a lot of quarterbacks don't do. The defensive backs aren't expecting, but he does, and he takes advantage of it. I think that's going to be a big part of what they're able to do when they get to the playoffs.
Potts hands off right up the middle. They go to Nemo Butler-Mayhew, who's got some room before he is pushed out of bounds inside the 30, down to about the 25.
And what we're seeing right now here, guys, is Paulsboro's a Group 1 team. And the tough thing with Group 1 teams is depth. Their solid first team is very good. You're looking at second and third stringers right now, and it's a no contest.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest difference between a Group 4 team and a Group 1 team. You're seeing it right now.
Yeah, and Group 4, you usually have guys only playing on one side of the ball, whereas Group 1, you're both sides of the ball.
Go to Sam Agbesi on the carry. Short gain for Agbesi as we tick down to 35 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Gain of 2.
I want to thank Paulsboro, their athletic staff, doing an outstanding job welcoming us in here. We've taken over half the press box. It's always fun to come back here. Love the tradition, love the people. It's great.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They got the best snack stand.
Oh, hands down. Hands down. Sam doing a great job up on the roof, too, with the camera, battling the wind up there. So kudos to Sam, doing a great job bringing you all the pictures today from Paulsboro, one of the most unique venues here in all of South Jersey. And the clock runs out, and Sterling will drop this one 35-12. And what looked promising towards the end of that first half evaporated quickly, Kevin.
Yeah, good teams are never out of games. They never get down. They always just want to play for the next play, and that's what you're dealing with this Paulsboro team and this great tradition they've built up here.
So the next game that we will have here for you, as it's gone final in Garnet country, 14-6. The Garnets upset the Chimeras.
Wow.
So Willingboro sitting at the number 2 spot, Tad,
Yeah, they're going to drop
in the
down.
group. They're going to drop down. That's going to move everybody up. That might actually help Sterling a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance with Sterling dropping down. Those two teams have a possibility. We won't know. The official standings will come out late Sunday night. There's a possibility it could be Willingboro now. Possible, I'm guessing.
Okay.
It just, I wish I in the old system, Kevin, I understood the PowerPoints. I can tell you there are like 5 different factors that go into this, and it's very hard to predict.
Yeah, it's I'm still in shock. You talk about something unexpected happening. I don't think you ever thought that Haddon Heights, a team that's not even in the Group 1 playoff picture, would beat Willingboro, the second seeded team in Group 2.
So that'll do it for all of us here from Paulsboro. For John Hallwood, Sam doing a great job on the camera upstairs. Phenomenal job upstairs, Sam, on the camera. That's Kevin Schulz. Tad Kozineski, I'm Rob Strauss. We'll see you next time. Next Monday, as boys soccer is going to be playing their opening round of the South Jersey Group 2 playoffs. 35-12 is your final. We'll see you next time right here on Channel 19.